Blame on! How's everybody doing tonight? I'm here with my special guest, Taladia Plays. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, everybody, and everyone that is watching on my channel? Welcome for this exciting live stream.
What's up, Najee Tech Pro? I hope you're having a good evening. But I'm gonna make this as quick as possible because we actually have some Dragon Ball news to discuss tonight. This is gonna be one of two parts. Where on this channel and Taladia's, if you're already joining us through his, where we cover the movie side of things, and then we'll do a follow up where we do James Gunn's DCU gaming. Hopefully, I'll be
Yeah,
able to collab for that, but I'll keep you guys informed throughout the week. But Taladia, any updates involving the DCU so far, or
yes.
any news?
So apparently, there was an article that posted on Variety in regards to Warner Brothers Games' big live service push and doubling down on DC Game of Thrones and more franchises. That's the title of Variety's article that was posted a couple of days ago.
Nice,
26. And
nice.
they basically explain the fact that they do, what they say in the article, which I find so hilarious, is the fact we've doubled. Where is it? Where's the Because I don't want to. Should I screen share the
Go ahead,
article?
go ahead, go ahead.
Right, let me screen share Warner Brothers. There we are. I'm screen sharing.
Okay, just give me a moment.
All right, ready?
Ready.
It says David Zaslav more critical, leading Warner Brothers Discovery through the streaming wars, but he's also rich opportunity through gaming. Sorry, for opportunity company to capture a bigger chunk of its territory in games. Warner Brothers Discovery chief, who can't go one earning call without boasting about the power of comfortable, rich, trivial of IPs, used his third quarter of addressing the chance to announce plans to level up video games division. He says consistently enjoyed among the highest ROIs of any of our business. This is where Zaslav's love franchises meets his plans for domination near $200 billion gaming industry, while smaller than leading pure gaming companies, namely EA, Nintendo, Ubisoft, Take-Two, as well as publishing competitors Sony, PlayStation, and Microsoft Gaming. Warner Bros. Has managed to comparable operating margins and is pushing above their weight thanks to four IPs, $1 billion apiece in gaming: the world of Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, DC, and Mortal Kombat, right?
Right, right.
And it says here two franchises that WB profited the most of 2023: Mortal Kombat, which is Mortal Kombat 1, which sold 3 million copies in September, and Harry Potter last February's launch of Hogwarts Legacy, which crossed 24 million copies sold, a best selling 2023 worldwide from Warner Brothers Games. Uh,
Say,
even though
say
those
what you
were
will about the Harry. I'm sorry. Say what you will about the Harry Potter IP right now, but you got to. The numbers are the numbers. You got to give them that.
yeah,
So
yeah, you gotta give them that. So in the article, he also says, I've doubled and triple checked some of these metrics here because such a great investment opportunity. Wide, I can't pronounce that
Lightning
name.
fells, lightning
Yeah,
fells.
said during the third quarter call, and he's studying that we haven't invested more into the opportunity. We're going to start tackling that, right? And
Right.
then he also says, one about the CEO global streaming and gaming, JP Peretti, tells Variety top key uh, uh, the key to topping these numbers is figuring out ways to make prized IPs more than just one great hit every 3 or 4 years. We want to be we they and he or she says we want it to be always always on. And the good news is that gaming space lends itself to that. Um, so what they're also saying is with the focus shifting from console and PC based games with 3 to 4 years release schedule, a good example to what to expect more from Warner Brothers games is mobile like Game of Thrones, Conquest, which is checks that an always box, and keeping TV franchises in fresh people's mind for TV seasons. Perret says we consistently looking to see what else we can do in our Game of Thrones, in our House of Dragon, one of our biggest, more popular franchises. And it says when it comes to expanding the DC focus side of it, DC-focused gaming offering. Preet and Haddad said we were looking for DC Studios, James Gunn and Peter Safran, who have announced to incorporate video games into the revamped canon moving forward. And in the quote tweet, it says, frankly, there hasn't been close relationship between the studio and gaming business as there should have been. James is actually a gamer, so has some passionate about it being is super helpful. Additionally, addition to that, Warner Brothers Games is actively working with Gunn on core franchises within the DC universe. However, this isn't the plan isn't to be religious about their creating across divisions. While they're working on a Superman movie title, Superman Legacy, we're not going to launch a Superman game purely because we feel obligated to. We have to do something that makes sense for gaming strategy and for fans and for the consumer. So that's the DC portion of it.
And before we move on, Ruth, thank you for coming onto the show. We really appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Ruth.
But with that being said, I definitely understand this because Warner Brothers did do pretty decent this year. You can't give them that. You got to give them that. But even if we factored that, it still doesn't change the fact that Warner Brothers as a whole just needs to go in a completely separate direction. Now, does that mean Zaslav cuts his losses and sells DC off to Universal, or does he stick it out for another 4 or 5 years to see whether or not James Gunn's DCU is a relative success? That we do not know. We do not have defined numbers. All we have is speculation in our sources. That's all we have. But if I were a betting man, knowing Zaslav's business history, I say he's going to see what Superman Legacy will do, and if it does not hit a certain range, we're just going to do standalone. He's just going to cut his losses. At least that would be the most practical approach, knowing him. What do you think, Taladia?
Second.
Thank you, David Riley. Welcome to the show. But while we're waiting on Taladia's response, the reason I say that is Zaslav, he's not really known for the actual movie industry itself. He's more of a financial consultant, if for lack of a better term. He looks at the numbers, he looks where things are trending, and whether or not it's a worthwhile investment. Pretty standard business stuff.
Yeah. By the way, just take a look at what I said.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll check the. Okay. But separate matter. Forgive us, ladies and gentlemen. But as I was saying, Zaslav is not afraid to cut his losses. He's not afraid to just cut something out right from under it and bury it in a tax payoff. He did it with Batgirls. He did it, I believe, with one other project I can't remember the name of right now. Let's just say that when it comes to the bottom line and the fine dollar, Zaslav is cutthroat. Let me just say that right now. And with DC does not have a very strong brand appeal right now. Granted, they did, y'all, and I say this as a co-host, I say this as a colleague, and I say this as a content creator, even outside the Comics League brand. Y'all did get the Snyder Cut. Let me restate that. Y'all did get the Snyder Cut. I'm not refuting that. Whether that was a promo campaign for HBO Max or whether it was a solid payoff and with hashtag sell Snyderverse to Netflix or any other campaigns you've done for the past 7 years. A feat is a feat. I'm not taking that from you. But at the same time, that alone does not compensate for 5 years of relative mediocrity, studio interference, and a desperate bid to catch up to Marvel. It has completely sullied the DC brand, and relying on Batman has not done them any favors, at least in my opinion.
Like, here's the thing with the gaming space right now. They don't need to make any more Batman games. I'll be honest with you. If they made more Batman games, that's it. It's game over. Literally,
I agree.
People will just be like, I'm sick of it. People were expecting, like, the Damian Wayne Batman game. They thought, okay, the Damian Wayne Batman game was going to be an Arkham game. It turns out it wasn't. It was going to be completely different. And I'll be honest with you. I'll be straight up front. I think people will pick it up, but I think not many people would eat it up as much as the Arkham games would.
For lack of a better term, it would have done, to make a simple comparison, it probably would have done Gotham Knights numbers, which is pretty ironic because this Batman Beyond game with Damian Wayne, or at least the initial concept of it, was salvaged into Gotham Knight. Yeah. I don't think it would have been popular. It would have been commercially a success, if not a stagnant one, but I don't think people would have eaten it up. not off the
But
bat brain alone.
but another thing too, um,
Excuse
to
me.
add to add to this is the fact that what James Gunn wants to do, it's like he wants to connect everything. In my opinion, he should make a Superman game. At least have
I
that
agree.
have the IP out there, because what David Zaslav says, they want the people to explore the world of Superman. You can't make a Supergirl game because people's not going to really eat that up. You make a flipping crypto game, nobody's not going to really want to touch that.
Wait, didn't
And
they make a mobile game for the Super Pets last year?
no, that was a console game. A
Oh,
console
okay.
that was a console game that really didn't do well, right?
Mm,
And I was
right.
talking to a couple of my YouTuber friends, and they were like, we they believe that WB Games Montreal is working on a Superman game. They believe that, and so do I. But I also believe that what WBD needs to do is to focus on the top character, which is Superman. Forget
I
about
agree.
Batman. Like, leave Batman on the shelf for about 5 to 6 years, right?
Right.
If it's a DCU game, I get that, but how many fans are gonna really eat the Batman game up? Be honest with yourselves.
You don't even have the Arkhamverse to fall back on, and this is a very important distinction because even with Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, yeah,
But
that's considered an. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me change the banner. That's considered an Arkhamverse game. Now, whether I'm not going to say it's going to be a flop. I'm not going to say that, but the engagement is ferocious to the point that it's not a Batman game, dude. You're not getting Batman. You're getting Suicide Squad. That's kind of the point.
the
And
thing
yeah,
is,
there's a
right?
lot.
Like,
Go
here's the
ahead.
thing:
Go ahead.
Suicide Squad, it will do well,
Yes.
just purely on sales, right?
Right.
Because developers, the developers aren't giving out review codes. Nobody's getting review codes. So basically, whoever's getting the game have to buy the game in order to play it now.
I agree.
Because if there was review codes, we would have had reviews, preferably early, but we're not going to get that. As for like what Naji's saying, yes, we do need a Superman game, and we do it needs to be on the same. It needs to be a AAA game. There's no like, oh, Superman is um
No, my Avengers is Superman nonsense.
Lois Lane. Hey, what's up, Casual Avenger? Sorry, Casual
What's up?
Gamer. Sorry, I called Casual Avenger. Hi, do you
And
all?
uh,
Go on.
and the reason
Go on.
I say
Hi,
that is because don't get me wrong,
highlight
you
that
can't.
comment.
Oh, sorry. What do you think their comment made in regards to a Superman game?
So here's my thing about that. I think it's just words. If they were gonna not do a Superman game, it's a missed opportunity because the hype would be there. The IP the IP's on a very hyped level right now for a Superman game, right?
True, true.
And furthermore, you have Superman Legacy literally coming around the corner. So the
In about
best option
2 years, 2 years.
in in like a year's time, well, a year and 4 months, 4 or 5 months time, you literally have Superman Legacy releasing. So the best opportunity for Warner Brothers to do is to release a Superman game to go alongside it. Now, I wouldn't do a movie tie-in game, no, but hey, just do a Superman game and just get it, just cross promotion. Because if I was in WB shoes, I would do that. Because if you think about it, Suicide Squad Killer Justice League was meant to be tied to James Gunn's The Suicide Squad film. But because was supposed to come out in 2022, but it got delayed by 2 years, right? It's supposed to come out in 2023, then it got delayed again to 2024. So it's taken them 2 years before we actually got to play the game. Gotham Knights, that was supposed to be tied to the Batgirl film. But because the Batgirl film got a tax write-off, they literally just put it out there. Otherwise, if the Batgirl film came out, it would have been tied to that. That's a fact.
I'll give you that.
It's
I'll give you.
synergy, guys. It's synergy. That's why WB needs to look at the facts. Is if they don't do synergy for the DC gaming space, it's like, if you don't do synergy, you're you're basically ruining the IP. This is why you're in debt. You're almost bankrupt,
It's
WB.
over 60%.
Over 60% in bankruptcy. Yeah, nearly bankrupt. Yeah. Warner Brothers have to look at the bigger picture here. Yes, keeping Suicide Squad Killer Justice League going. Keep that going. Keep people talking about the game, right?
Right.
That's fine. Get the Wonder Woman game out next, right? That's
Right.
fine. You can get that out, early or late 2024, early 2025, right?
Right.
Then late 2025, you could have the Superman game. It's not that difficult, really.
It's really not.
I mean, it doesn't even need to be connected to, like, because if you think about it, Marvel Spider-Man 2, right?
Right.
That was cross-promoted with across the Spider-Verse, right? And there was
Right.
brand synergy in that. Even though Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, right?
Right.
There was synergy there.
That is true. That is true.
And and the same thing can be said for Star Wars, right? Battlefront 2, right? That
Yep.
was that they're always connected to Lucasfilms games and the Lucasfilms, the Star Wars films that were coming out, and they all had DLC and stuff. So
I
this
want
is
to say
why
that it was. I want to say it was in synergy with Force Awakens. I don't think it was I don't think it was The Last Jedi. I think it was strictly Force Awakens. At
the
least when
Force
that came.
Awakens, yeah, it was the Force Awakens and the Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Um, Naji's asking, can a merger work for Warner Brothers or something else? Now, a merger for Warner Brothers it can happen.
It's very likely. Not gonna
It's
lie. It is very likely.
it's very likely that Warner Brothers might sell up and shut shop for Warner Brothers Discovery, because the fact is they're bleeding money and they need every cent they can for in their video games division right now. That's why they're banking on Suicide Squad to make as much profit as they can because it's a live service game. Whereas,
Keep
um,
going.
whereas, you know, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, whereas like Mortal Kombat 1, same thing. It's not live service. One second, I just got a message from think. Okay, keep the conversation going.
Of course, of course. I feel like what Taladio is trying to say is that Warner Brother being sold off and merged again, it is very likely because this goes as far back with Emmerich and his tenure with the company under Warner Brother Media with AT&T. Basically, he did the same thing where Emmerich, kind of fungled the numbers and just pitched DC off the first chance he got. Could there have been spite in relevance to HBO Max and the rise of the Snyder Cut? Could there have been Emmerich seeing writing on the wall? We don't know. But at the end of the day, you still have to factor synergy brand wise with your company, at least to some degree. At least that's what I'm interpreting what Talati is trying to say.
So here's what I'll say. Uh, with with the brands and everything, if Superman Legacy flops, I can tell you right now in 20 there's going to be problems for the DC studios. Now, as far as James Gunn and the DC gaming space, he needs to push out a DC game.
He
Otherwise,
does.
if he doesn't, like people are going to ask that question. It's like, what have you done for the last 2 years? You know?
Now, I don't think a Creature Commando game would work, at least not on console. But I would put all my cards on the table and bank everything on Superman. The hype is there, the fandom is there, the appeal is there. As long as you have a decent gameplay mechanics and a good story mode, that should get you at least commercially successful at the very least.
Yes. Also, um, I'd also like to say this. Um, Warner Brothers right now, they need to start looking, not just asking, Can Paramount Group incorporated their own Nickelodeon? Um,
It would
No,
likely be
no,
Universal.
no. It won't be Paramount. It'll be Universal. Universal, and not Comcast.
Universal Comcast is the most likely.
Yeah, yeah. Universal Comcast would be the likeliest scenario. Casual gamer.
Now, would I see Paramount as a close second? Probably not. Maybe like third or fourth, because there are so many social media platforms and conglomerates nowadays. But I would see Paramount as like the bottom of that list because Paramount and Viacom, they don't really market that high to begin with, and to buy all of DC and Warner Brothers, that's too tall of a task for Paramount to pull off. Now they prioritize and just got the rights to DC characters in the DC line, then yeah, I could see Paramount doing that, but not Warner Brother Discovery wholesale. I just don't
No,
see it.
you see, did Paramount have? Yes, Paramount had weren't interested in WB at all, at all. So, yo, what's up, Tevia? Um, but like I said, Warner Brothers and DC James Gunn's DC Studio games, they need to hit it out the park. So if Superman reach the numbers Discovery is hoping for, yes. If Superman Legacy does not reach the numbers Discovery wants, that's it. It's game over. I can tell you right now, David Zaslav will sell off WB.
Couldn't have said it better myself, casual gamer. That's a separate. Again, Harry Potter is under Universal. That's a
No,
okay.
no, it's not. No, it's not. Harry Potter is under Warner Brothers. The only reason why it's on the Universal ride is because of its because Universal doesn't have the movie rights. They've only
Mm.
got the ride rights. They don't have like that's the difference, Najee. But as far as who will take Warner Brothers, it'd be Comcast. I'm gonna be honest with you, Tevye, it'd be Comcast. That's the best opportunity for Warner Brothers because right now they're bleeding money. And after Suicide Squad, Killer Justice League, after Wonder Woman releases, they need another big IP. And the only solution for that, if I was in James Gunn's shoes right now, I'd be like, okay, make a DCU Superman game. I would not do. I would not say, look, I'm gonna make a Batman game. Yes,
I can see
yes.
what now. I want to add on to Taladia's comment.
Wait,
What's
wait,
up,
wait, wait.
Zeke?
Zeke, yes, I like that comment. Make sure you highlight it.
Okay. All right.
Also, so
It's
in
dead.
terms of
It's
the-
dead.
DC Comics is separate to WB. So the comics are separate to video games, to movies, they're all separate. The only thing that would be sold off would be the gaming division, the movie division, and DC. But in terms of comics, comics will still be there. What was going to happen to comics and more under like animation? Animation, animation will be under would be under the umbrella of selling, pretty
Yeah.
much, right?
Right. Right.
But like I said, we don't know. We don't know what the status for what James Gunn has got for his DCU gaming slate. All we're hoping for is a AAA Superman, a big budget AAA game. So Zeke, I don't know if you um saw the article from Variety um in regards to DCU and basically not James Gunn, Warner Brothers Games basically saying we're not obligated to make it Superman game, meaning they're not forced to do it. And Tevia says, I still maintain connecting video games to the movies is a bad idea. Here's the thing, they haven't done it for a long, long time now. It could be very well like it could here's the thing, Tevia, it could be very well like the Indiana Jones game that's coming out pretty soon. That is a movie tie-in game. Well, not a movie tie-in game, but it's connected to the movie universe. They could
Yes.
do that, right? And it could still work out in their favor. I can see it happening, right?
Well, Dial of Destiny was a pretty major setback, but it's salvageable. But
Yeah, I saw that the Superman game from comicbook.com. Yeah, I saw the article, not guaranteeing it, but here's the thing. If they don't do it, fans are gonna backlash at DCU for big reasons.
it ain't gonna be
Firstly,
pretty.
it ain't gonna be pretty because the fact is you could have banked on a Superman game and could have got people excited. And you know what would be also better is the fact that it doesn't even need to be like. Here's the thing: if they do a Superman game, it doesn't even need to be connected to DCU. It can be or it cannot be. But if they did a DCU game, it'd be better for the DCU brand. But if it's not, they can add a skin in and basically get people invested in that to buy the game. I'm just saying.
They could. They could. Batman Arkham. The Arkham games were in a similar situation with the Dark Knight Rises and the Dark Knight. Yeah, with Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, they were in a
So
very similar situation.
maybe, maybe
Maybe.
Zeke. But here's the thing, right? When Batman Arkham Knight was coming out, that was supposed to be tied to um BVS.
Yes.
But because BVS got delayed by a year, it came out a year, a year early. Arkham Knight did
Yep.
because BVS came out in 2016. It was supposed to come out in 2015, round about the same time as BVS, but BVS got delayed. Or the Justice League game, yes, or the Justice League game would be cool, yeah. But in terms of like where I see what I see Warner Brothers is that they need to have synergy going forward. If
They
they
do.
don't have, if they don't do synergy, think about look at the Star Wars brand. The Star Wars brand is in tarnish right now. I'm not joking. That's facts.
It
Star Wars
is.
brand, it is in tarnish. In video games, like trying to connect it to the movies, it's all a mess there. Um, even even Marvel, like Marvel currently, even though they're doing different IPs, it's not connected to the movie universe, but they did when they did movie tie-in stuff, it just didn't work out for them. But here's what DC has one over upon Marvel and Star Wars. There's one thing that they have is a gamer. If you have a
Yep.
gamer at the head of it, if you got a head that is a gamer that understands what the gaming division is like, then you got one step ahead. Zeke, as I said earlier, Suicide Squad Killer Justice IGN like not getting a review code, they're not entitled to it, right? There's a reason for that. They bash the game and then expect nobody's entitled for review codes. Nobody got review codes for Suicide Squad. Not content creators, not even um what's it called? Outlets never
And
got
I
review
think
codes.
IGN, or at least the reviewer on IGN, I think he rage quit if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He rage quit. So but the Marvel games aren't connecting to the movies, which is a good thing in my opinion. True, but the thing is, Marvel games is different. Marvel games is different compared to DC.
That's true.
Marvel allows their IPs to get, you know, you know, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, put out there for the public, right? Like they give the IPs out to um to different studios.
That is true. And even with their even with the Marvels, no, not the Marvels, excuse me, even with the Avengers 2019 game, there were a lot of mechanic problems with that game. I mean, the screen lag, the live service. Despite all those flaws, at least you can make an argument there was a huge amount of synergy that went into that product. You can't take that is the one thing about the Avengers 2019
There
you
was
can't
synergy
take
for
away.
that. there was a huge synergy for that. There's a reason for that. Avengers Endgame, simple as
Yep.
Avengers Endgame. That's the main reason why we got an Avengers game, because the fact that they banked on the Avengers IP pretty much, and it kind
Hmm.
of bit them in the butt. That's the best way to put it. Um, and when it comes down to DC, DC has got the opportunity to basically show the fans and show other companies, look, we got a Superman movie coming out, and literally within 6 to 12 months, you have a Superman game coming out easily, or a Justice League game that comes out, and people will eat it up.
That is true.
It's all synergy, guys. It's all about synergy. This is why I'm saying that Warner Brothers Games Montreal has got their second game in production. We have the Wonder Woman game, but the reason why the Wonder Woman game will come out before WB Montreal's second game is basically because the Wonder Woman movie.
Yep.
But because that Wonder Woman movie isn't happening anymore with Patty Jenkins, they're just going to release it as is. Pretty much
Pretty
like how
much.
Gotham Knights was, right? Where it was supposed to be connected to or marketed around a movie, but because they didn't do that, it kind of suffered the effects of poor marketing. That's the best way to put it.
I agree. I agree. I just want the DC. Couldn't have said it better myself, Zeke. Could not have
See,
said it better myself.
that's what we're getting with Suicide Squad. It's not going to be in Gotham for the, for the game, and Wonder Woman is not going to be in Gotham either. So that's good news. Now, here's what I think. I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to make people. I think what the James Gunn DCU needs to do is to look at all the IPs they have and say, look, which one has been left to languish the most? Superman, Flash, the Flash, Justice League have
Green
all
Lantern.
been Green Lantern have all been left to languish in a very bad state.
I agree. And I come to a similar conclusion as well because Green Lantern hasn't been touched since 2011. Now, be that as it may, there were better stories to adapt rather than just a grounded origin story and sequel bait Sinestro after the basically the whole thing was flawed. It's but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. But even still, they have not touched Green Lantern, even with the only exception being the GL animated series, and that was supposed to be in synergy to the movie. Other than that, Green Lantern hasn't been touched in almost a decade, arguably over a decade if we're not counting Beware My Power.
And James Gunn's teasing the next set of DC games is a necessity right now. No, we're not gonna get that, Javier. We're not gonna get Super Sons.
Well, the milestone characters are kind of branched off from DC. It was a falling out between McDuffie and McDuffie's estate, but even with that, I wouldn't mind a milestone game or a static shot game. It just depends on the development team and the higher ups.
The higher ups will pick the popular IPs. They won't pick the lower end IPs. Because if they pick the popular IPs, they know that it's going to sell. Why do you think they're doing a Suicide Squad game over a Justice League game? Because it was popular. Because of James Gunn's Suicide Squad film. Because of the popularity there. Think about
That's
it.
true. That's true.
Logic. I'm just saying, guys, it's logical thinking. WB right now are thinking whatever popular in the movies, they will do that for the video games.
What you would think would be a Justice League game because we had gotten the Snyder cut like what 2-3 years ago.
No, but they don't classify. Don't remember. Warner Brothers don't classify the Snyder Cut as canon.
Mm,
Remember that. Warner
that,
Media didn't classify it as canon,
that is true.
even though it was a commercial success. They still didn't want to acknowledge it.
Not
And
only were they embarrassed, but the Snyder cut won, if not two Oscars.
It won one fan award, which was the Into the Speed Force, right?
Mm.
And furthermore, what basically what got people excited is the fact that the popularity, like Suicide Squad, the reason why it got popular and got really good reviews was because of James Gunn and biased people that reviewed it, right? People like uh, Grace Randolph and all these other people. They reviewed it, gave it good reviews, it got positive reviews. That's where Warner Brothers comes in. Warner Brothers comes in and straight up says, okay, well, this has got popular reviews. Why don't we make a Suicide Squad game? Yeah,
To
exactly.
I exactly, Tevia. Exactly. You would please continue, Chaladia.
It's like I said, because of James Gunn, that's why they did the Suicide Squad game. But this game, that Suicide Squad game, was in development. It was round about 2017, right? James
Right.
Gunn's Suicide Squad film came out in 2021, right?
Right.
But still, Tevye, it's not about the box office.
We're talking strictly gaming, Tevia. Now, box office, we've already established that conversation
No,
about
no,
two
no, no, no,
minutes.
no. He's talking about Suicide Squad, about the box office, right? But it's not about the box office, it's about the reviews. If the reviews do well, that's where WB looks at the bigger picture here. If the reviews are bad, they don't acknowledge it.
It's true.
And
It's
that's why,
true.
like, that's if you think about it, right? There was
Right.
going to be a Suicide Squad game literally after Arkham Origins, right? That
Right.
was almost 10 years ago, right?
Right.
Um, and furthermore, to add further to this, is that Warner Brothers um, looked looked at that and said, "Look, no, we don't want you to make the Suicide Squad game." So they gave the IP to Rocksteady, but Rocksteady was working on two games at the same time. So they worked on Arkham Knight, they finished that, and then they worked on Arkham VR, right?
Right. Right.
And Arkham VR came out in 2016, and at the same time there was Return to Arkham. So both of those two things came out. Now in 2017, 2018, and 2019, there was literally problems at the studios and like the Damian and Batman game to also the Suicide Squad game, which they were all planning that. They tried it multiple times, it didn't work. There was a Superman game and that's another thing too. Um, Zeke says, I wonder who actually bought the Crypto Superdog Subway Surfer like game. I don't know who. I don't know who. Um, but as I was saying, when it comes down to yes, Tavia, which WB Montreal was working on that Suicide Squad game for years, and like I said, if I was in WB's shoes right now, allow the studio to make that Superman game. Allow it because at this point you got nothing to lose. You've got a movie coming out that's literally going to be people going to be talking about for years, right?
Right. I agree. So they definitely need to break away from Batman and the Bat family or Batman adjacent characters and try to prop up other IPs, which you could argue is what the DCU is trying to do, but they still have to answer to the higher ups, including Zaslav at the end of the day. I could easily see Warner Brothers or Warner Brothers Discovery pushing the panic button. No, let's rush out the Batman or the Batman 3. When all else fails, Batman sells. So
Yes. So it's like I said, with Superman being the top priority right now, I can see what David Zaslav just saying, look, push a Superman game out there, get it out there, and them focusing on the gaming side of it because they want it to last a long time. And I can see a Superman game being live service.
I agree. Easily, no, given Warner WB's track record, easily.
Yeah, yeah. We need a break from Batman, yes, but I would say more than 6 years, Tevye. I would say 6 to 8 years at least, the minimum.
A good decade without Batman content, at least outside the comics, it would do some good.
Because the brand is tarnished right now.
I would argue more it's oversaturated, but that's fair. That's a fair retort.
Tarnished. What I mean by tarnished is because of the poor reviews for Gotham Knights. That's the
That is
first thing.
right.
And then the second thing is you got Suicide Squad, which became controversial.
Mm,
Oh, with the whole Kevin Conroy thing and people talking about that and getting upset about it.
that's true.
So if I was in WB's shoes right now, I'd be like, okay, what can we do to make people get back on the side? Superman, Justice League, Flash, Green Lantern. Those are the IPs you can touch, right?
Right.
And give out IPs. That's what I would do. Give your IPs out to different studios. Don't do it in house. If you do keep it in house, you never, it could be years before we get anything.
So much infighting going on behind the scenes right now. I'm surprised they can get anything done.
Tevia, the reason why I say live service is similar to Batman Arkham Knight, a live service mechanic, not a live service like Suicide Squad. No, no, no. So it'd be like Arkham Knight. Basically, you'll have live service elements, or not live service elements, live service mechanics, so to say, and people will play it anyway because it's Superman, right? And
True.
right now, people are looking forward to James Gunn's Superman Legacy film, so it has the momentum there. Justice League, because even the Justice League IP is kind of in a Justice League is kind of in a rough area right now because of not because of Zack Snyder, but because of Justice League, right? Right? Because of Joss Whedon's
Right.
cut. No, don't play it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. I thought you were gonna play that. Why did you say that name?
That moment's gone. But back
But
on
yeah,
back on
but
Justice League.
but back on that, right? Because the 2017 cut tarnished the jail brand, they're not gonna touch that. They they aren't gonna touch the IP. Same thing. The same thing can be said for Batman, um, Flash. Those characters aren't going to be touched because they just didn't do well at the box office.
That's true.
So I think that's a lot we've covered in 45 minutes. Let's take some questions from the chat and then we can react to the Dragon Ball trailer.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, we got
How would you release Injustice 3 or a new Lego DC games of James Gunn? Those would be under the Elseworld banner, but to answer
mm,
your Injustice inquiry, it wouldn't be the same without Kevin Conroy. Now, you could cast and hire Bruce Greenwood to do the voiceover. This could go one or two ways. They could play it safe and go off the Brainiac Superman ending with the Masters with He-Man, the Masters of the Universe, and then use audio clips for a very, very brief cameo while Batman is brainwashed. They could go that route since it was included
yeah,
in a time comic based with Master Universe and everything I'm saying. Or they can go with the Batman ending where everything is pretty much a relative status quo plus Supergirl, to where you kind of end up back where you started, and it's pretty much just a mild skirmish with Atrocitus or some other Lantern
yeah,
Corps.
yeah, yeah. As far as your second question, also, do you think Wonder Woman Superman will be connected to DCU? Well, no, no. The comment you highlighted before this one,
Okay.
JD.
In
No,
my
no, no,
opinion,
no, 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 no. The casuals first one. So how they released Injustice 3. Click on that
okay.
one. No, no, no. That's the top. How do they
There
release
we go.
Injustice
There we
3?
go. I see it now. I see it now.
Yeah. So to answer your second question, would there be exceptions? Also, do you think the Wonder Woman game, Superman game would be connected to DCU? Now, that's the question. The Wonder Woman game wouldn't be connected to DCU because James Gunn has already said.
Anything
Um,
Wonder Woman outside of Paradise Lost will be strictly under the Chapter 2 banner of the DCU. I do not see a Wonder Woman game within Chapter 1, especially after 1984. I
yeah,
just don't see.
yeah. And as for Superman, that's up in the air. It depends on what James Gunn does. What about the Legion of Superheroes? Is the IP damaged or Teen Titans?
Legion of
Yes.
Superheroes just doesn't get used enough. They really don't.
I don't think Legion. I don't think the Legion is damaged, but they wouldn't touch it anyway because it's not popular. And Teen Titans, they were planning a
After
Teen
the live
Titan.
after the live action Titan show,
No, they were
um,
they were planning a Titans game. That got changed immediately. In my opinion, they should flash it. That would be cool.
I
Okay,
agree.
casual gamers asking, can you tell us the reason WB cancelled Superman game that was in development back in 2015, 2016? Was it full in development or just a pitch? Okay, so I can tell you this. So I was told that WB Games Montreal's Superman game, which we were robbed not once but twice. So there was two pitches. One of them was in 2013, 2014, which had concept art for different villains and everything. That game just got a pitch and it didn't go past that, the concept art stage. But there was another one called Superman Unbound. No, sorry, I think there was sorry, the 2013, 2014 one. They had a placeholder and everything. They were planning to go ahead with it, but because they made the Arkham engine mandatory, didn't they just didn't work on it. It just didn't work, so they scrapped the idea. As for the 2015, 2016 um, version, that was called Superman Unbound. Now, from what I saw, and what I think it's supposed to be tied to Jeff Johns' Superman Brainiac run, um, which is based off the animated film Superman Unbound. They were going to do that, but that was also a pitch, and it went through the concept art stage, but it didn't go past that. So that's to answer your question. Question of speaking of Injustice, do people even care about the IP Injustice anymore? Yeah, they in NetherRealm are cooking up another game, so I can tell you that. Um, as for Tevia saying a Superman family game, it's never gonna happen.
I
I'll
just
be
don't see it. I really don't see it. Not in that capacity. Now, in early days, Superman getting with Lois Lane, yada yada yada, that's more likely. I just do not see a fully established Superman family game. I just don't see it.
no, it's never gonna happen. What's the reason for the Superman game getting cancelled?
They couldn't adapt the Arkham engine into the game properly. At
Yeah,
least that was for one of the projects. Now the second
that
one,
was
I
for
don't know.
the one of the projects. The second project, I think, because of the idea of what they had originally, it just didn't work. Didn't work out for them, so they didn't go ahead with it. Maybe the idea was not up to what they wanted to do because they had Doomsday and you had Brainiac, and maybe those designs weren't so good. Yes, Superman Unbound, the movie was awesome. Yes. So that leaves us to what WB Montreal did after those two cancelled Superman games, the Suicide Squad game. They planned on working on a Batman game. Now that Batman game was going to be the Damian Wayne game. Obviously, we know what the situation with that was. It was essentially leaked and everything. Oh, you want that Batman Ninja game? I know you, Zeke. You want that Batman Ninja game. I know why. Because they made it mandatory. This was after Arkham Origins. They made it mandatory. They thought they could make profit on it. Possibly.
That's what we just said. It's more the more accepted consensus was they tried to adapt the Arkham engine with Superman and they just couldn't find a way to make it work. At least for one of the projects. The other was allegedly abandoned, but we don't have any information on that.
Yeah, we don't have much information on that. But what we do know, yes, I do. We do know what you want for a game. Yes, we do know that. But Yes, I have, Zeke. I've updated the Suicide Squad game and it's already ready for tomorrow's stream. So if you're watching this on my channel, make sure you guys tune in because on my channel, I will be having members that have got the game that's installed. I will be having David on, so who's a member of my channel. You get to play Suicide Squad together. So we'll be chilling and playing the game. And then yeah, what's up, movie theater king? That's a shame
What's
because
up, movie?
Superman. No, Tevia, the Arkham engine would not have worked with the Superman game.
No, 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 no. You use the Arkham engine for something very grounded. And I'm not saying that strictly because it's Batman, because if you factor superpowers, that goes into an extra bit of coding that's just a headache for everyone involved. It's really not worth the hassle.
So, do you think the developers? Yes,
I agree. Yes, that is very likely, casual gamer. That is very likely.
that's very casual gamer. I think that that will be the case for Warner Brothers going forward. Now they'll be like, okay, you guys can make your Gotham Knights world. You guys can make your Arkham world. You guys can do the Wonder Woman world, and it can all be Elseworld, and they still get people talking, right?
And,
Suicide. Go on, you go
and
first.
speaking of the Suicide Squad, now this is spoilers for any potential DLC, but they brought in allegedly, take this with a grain of salt. This is an alleged rumor. An Elseworld Joker, and I'm just like, I
No, it's
get
not a
what you're
rumor.
trying. Oh, it's not a rumor. I thought this was a rumor. Okay, this is
No,
confirmed.
Joker's confirmed to be the first DLC for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I made a reaction video on it. You don't watch my content, do you?
I do. I've just been busy this weekend. So if you post within the past couple of days, I've been busy with work. I just haven't been on.
Oh, you missed it then. You missed my reaction.
I'll catch the playback off stream. But yeah, I just feel like it's a downgrade to bring Joker back and a desperate bid to boost numbers. I mean, because
Joker's a
come on,
popular character. Joker's a
no,
popular
don't get me wrong.
character.
The IP is popular. I understand it from a corporate standpoint, but from a narrative, especially if you're going from the Arkham games to this, it feels forced.
No, 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 it's not forced. It's a different Joker entirely.
Oh, okay.
Um, Zeke, to answer your question, I do think Warner Brothers might acquire other studios. Well, speaking of other developers outside of in-house other studios, do you think they should let go of Superman, Flash, Green Lantern? Do you think they should? Yes, I think they should.
I agree. Maybe not with
And
the Arkham engine, definitely create something new, but I definitely could see a Superman or Green
work it,
Lantern.
work it from the ground up. It doesn't need to have the Arkham engine. Look, for example, um, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League is a looter shooter game, and that has only some little elements of the Arkham mechanics in it, but it hasn't got everything in Arkham mechanics. So they worked it from the ground up. Gotham Knights that never had the Arkham engine, and that worked from the ground up. It had RPG elements into it. Wonder Woman is having the Nemesis system into that game, and that's already been patented for Monolith games. So that's what I'm saying, guys. You know, it can be done. So
That would
yeah,
be awesome. Not gonna lie,
that it,
Tevin. One of the few things we've ever agreed on. A Mass Effect inspired Green Lantern game would be pretty badass.
which is from Shadow of Mordor. Yes. So I think that's a good place to stop the DC and react to the Dragon Ball trailer.
By all means, ready when you are. As soon as you screen share, buddy.
Let me hold on. Let me get rid of this. Uh, where are you? There you are. Screen share. All right,
There we go. Hopefully, we
ready?
don't get taken down for this.
I'll put the volume low then. Ready?
Ready.
Let's go. Budokai Tenkaichi. Oh wow! Thank God.
Nice. Nice.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Super Vegeta.
Super Saiyan 2.
I would not be surprised if Majin Vegeta was not in this game.
It's Super Saiyan 3.
Okay. Oh, there he is.
Yep.
Never mind.
Majin Vegeta, yes. Transforms to new levels. Super Saiyan God!
God.
Oh, wow.
Woo.
Super Saiyan Blue.
Nice. Nice.
Kai and Ken. Oh, wow. Still no release date.
Yeah, I could easily see this being late third quarter 2024, first quarter 2025. I could easily see this going to next year.
Yes. Casual gamer, do you think, um, yes, to answer your question, casual gamer, yes, I think so. I think so.
We're at the very least going to get a teaser, at the very least.
No, it wouldn't be a teaser. They already done the teaser for Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay. I am behind. I need to catch up.
The Wonder Woman game teased at the Game Awards in 2021. Then afterwards, it was they haven't said anything really. So I think gameplay is a necessity. Yes, Tevia, that's the hypest thing I'm gonna say for Sparking Zero. That's why I'm gonna get the game. That's my second game I'm picking up this year. That's my second
Yeah,
game.
but granted, they spent a lot of resources. Now, granted, Battle Pass was completely privatized this year, so they're just now starting to promote things, make launch promotion videos as we speak. But I feel like with this, we're gonna get something for Dokkan because that anniversary is coming up.
Yep,
Maybe go ahead.
Legends they've already done, and it's GT related.
Okay.
And Kakarot is the end of Z.
You think End of Z would have been included in the main story, but I guess they decided to save it for DLC.
Yeah, which is interesting to say the least. To
Because
say
End
the
of Z is technically part of the Boo saga. It's an epilogue, but it's still a part of the Boo saga.
I do because I really do want to play Tekken 8. Uh, yeah,
Nah,
Tekken
I
8.
can't blame you there.
I
Can't
can't
blame you
blame
there.
you, but it's all about Dragon Ball for me, and it's all about DC gaming for me. So that's it with me. Anything else you would like to add, J Heat, before we end, or do you think that's a good place to end?
Any comics you checked out this week? Because I know things have been crazy getting ready for Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. So have you checked out any current titles this week?
Um, I have checked out some New 52
Okay.
comics, and Casual Gamer. Like I said, all the stuff that I know, it has been done in video format before. I have talked about it in a video format, and also you see my reaction videos for Suicide Squad, the the Wonder Woman game, Gotham
Joker.
Knight, Joker, all of that is on my channel. So and
Please, please subscribe to this man. Please like, comment, subscribe to the both of us. We'd really appreciate it. But Dragon Ball Daima is likely going to be its own video. I think that's just a promotional anime for the 40th anniversary of the franchise. I don't think
yeah,
that's really going
yeah,
to add anything.
they are showing a panel for that.
Okay, we'll probably have more information for you later, either on our community tab or in a follow-up video.
In
But
2 hours, in literally 2 hours time.
you got to be kidding me. But
I'm not joking.
uh, but yeah, I think this is a good place to call. This was a great stream, man. Just a quick promo for anything you got coming, final thoughts, anything you got coming on the channel, just anything you want to talk about,
Yep.
buddy.
So as you guys know, tomorrow, well, later on today or tomorrow, I'll be doing Suicide Squad Killer Justice League episode 1 and 2, chapter 1 and 2, as we're going to be covering that. And then also, I'm going to be streaming with Jared on his channel, and as we're going to play Suicide Squad with him and do the first 2 chapters with him as well. And furthermore, what else am I doing? Oh, that's right. Myself and Jay Heat will be recapping Battle Hour. So we will be doing more of Battle Hour. And okay, so yes, I was. So as you asked me before, Casual Gamer, yes. I have got, like I said, I've got tons of videos about the Superman game thing. I talked about Factor 5 Superman game. I've talked about WB Games Montreal's Superman game. I've talked about. Hey, what's up, Daniel?
Hello,
Yeah, Daniel's in the chat. Can you?
what's up, Daniel?
He said James Gunn
Bizarre.
explain.
Yep. Bizarre discussing Anthony. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
But yeah, so we got a lot of things to coming. And yes, I will be doing more member stream next month. So next month on the 13th or the 16th of February, I'll be doing more members panel. So if you guys have got membership on my channel, I'll be putting a community tab in the community members section for the StreamYard link so you guys can hop on the panel where we talk about anything and everything really. It's going to be a nice, amazing time.
As for me, I'm currently doing my Mass Effect playthroughs, the Swole Tour stuff. I decided to take a week off, experiment a bit because it's, try something new, start a new game series. But Swole Tour is coming back, and I'm starting with Sith Inquisitor Part 10, right where I left off with Part 9, as well some new Direction Verse content I'm still editing and in the works. And I'm bringing back a long-term project I made with other YouTuber from a few years ago. It's the most popular video on my channel, or one of some of them. But I'm bringing that back hopefully before the end of this year. And hopefully we can get to 200 subscribers before December. So hopefully we can meet that goal. But Jaladi, anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Yep. 2 things. First thing is that I'm excited for Sparking Zero and I'm excited for Suicide Squad. And the second thing is Lois Lane is Lois Lane.
Like, comment, subscribe. Good night, everybody.